Hello and welcome back, everyone, to day 2 of Encore. I am Valerie Grubb, your MC for this event. Today is a really special day. Today is the day you will feel truly connected to your fraternal peers because of the programming that we have in store for you. To kick off today, we are going to celebrate all of the work that Alliance members do across the country. This is when your industry really shines. Because it's in your blood to give back to your communities, fraternals have been able to provide relief these past many months when others could not. While we have all experienced heartache and grief, we celebrate your ability to rise above everyday difficulties to help others.
Oh, that was a great video. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tim Kuzma, Chair of the Alliance Board of Directors for just a few more hours. But that video says it all. I'm often reminded why I am part of this network, and that video really makes me proud. There is a second video tribute coming up a little bit later as well. What a great day we had yesterday. It was really a great session. I want to give a shout out and thanks to everyone involved, Allison and her staff, and all the tech support, for all the great presentations that we had, all the panelists and speakers. It was a really great day. We're really very pleased with that. And I'm really glad that that worked out as well as it did. It's now my pleasure to hand over the virtual gavel to your incoming chair of the board. Cynthia Molesky will become your new chair today, and I know she will provide great leadership in 2021. Cynthia has a unique set of skills, and she also has the ability to crystallize complicated situations into a single thought. There have been many times over the past few years where she has demonstrated her insight, compassion, and industry knowledge during board meetings to help us come to important conclusions. So at this time, through the magic of Zoom and the virtual reality, Cynthia, it's now my pleasure here is your incoming chair of the board, Cynthia Molesky, to give you some thoughts on what she wants to accomplish next year. And Cynthia, here is your gavel.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, there we are. Thank you. This is Cynthia Molesky, incoming chair, as Tim said, of the board of the American Fraternal Alliance, and president CEO of the First Catholic Slovak Ladies Association of the USA. Thank you to my society for its support of our service to AFA. We know that fraternal benefit societies have an overarching purpose of affirming and uplifting the dignity of every person in our country and in our world. In 2020, our leaders have responded courageously and with determination to confront even greater challenges with the pandemic, social unrest, and the disruption of our political landscape. Yesterday, we were pleased to hear fellow board member Nicole Gorley talk about how we arrived at our new messages that will help guide us in the future. We thank her for taking on this leadership role to recreate this message at this important juncture of our journey together. And here we are. We unite members through advocacy, education, and networking to advance the Fraternal Benefit Society movement so that we strive to be a world where we live fraternally, united to improve the lives of others and to be financially secure. Our strategic plan for 2021 is closely aligned with these inspiring mission and vision statements. We are, as fraternal benefit societies, uniquely positioned to work in concert together and in partnership for the common good that ultimately benefits all. We can engage every one of our members to protect life, preserve the framework of good governance in a democratic society, and for all to promote peace. In uniting and connecting, we can better the communities around us to recognize, affirm, and uplift the dignity of every individual person. Can you imagine, through our lodges and chapters, we provide much needed aid and assistance to thousands in hundreds of communities across our nation, in Canada and beyond, by reaching out to those at the crossroads of life, to those in need of food and clothing, and to those needing a kind word or a prayer during crisis in their lives. We provide access to needed financial products to many who would normally not have such access, to fortify their financial well-being and independence. Each one of our societies is founded on a different cultural and historic basis. However, we are bound together in these united common goals for the greater good of our communities at large. In the past, the AFA has achieved many goals, defeating threats to our federal tax exemption, unbundling or eliminating unfair regulation that does not take into account our unique nature, funding significant consumer research so that we may better communicate our value proposition, and through our branch system, serving as beacons of hope and light to thousands in communities in our country as well as Canada. Can you imagine in 2019 alone, over 7.5 million members donated over 66 million of volunteer service hours and gave over more than $631 million to community organizations to serve the common good. In 2021, it is even more important to stay connected so that our collective positive outcomes can be shared by even greater numbers of members of our communities. Our goals are clear. We will increase our number of virtual education events. We will broaden the number of member leaders who serve on advocacy committees and task forces at the AFA. We will gather more input and fraternal industry information. We will reach out to some of our former members, and we will partner with similar groups outside of our fraternal world. It's a lofty task. We are grateful to outgoing Chair Tim Kuzma for his leadership in keeping us on track. Thank you, Tim, during these changing times, in his foresight of promoting stronger vehicles to refine our advocacy efforts, and by his support of our new AFA CEO, Allison Capel. Thank you, Allison, outstanding leader that you are, and recently named CEO, for your adaptability and positive outlook during these unusual times. I am looking forward to continuing work with our board and all of our fine leaders as a team. Thank you for the confidence you have placed in me. With humility, I am honored to accept this gavel to continue our efforts so that we together can foster the common good for the benefit of all. Thank you.
Congratulations, Cynthia. Absolutely. Such an inspirational. It's amazing at all that your fraternals have accomplished. So quite an inspiration for all of us. And again, congratulations, Cynthia. I know everyone wishes you luck in your role as chair of the board. All right, so on to our next presenter. Drew Gazill is with Capitol Council and leads our federal advocacy efforts. Welcome, Drew.
Thank you so very much, Valerie. My name is Drew Gazill, and I'm a partner at the federal government affairs firm Capitol Council, based in Washington, D.C. It's a true pleasure to join you today. Representing the American Fraternal Alliance at the federal level over the past year has been a genuine honor. I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know so many of you through all of our work together and through the many updates and calls we've conducted. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, those interactions have been limited to virtual settings, but hopefully that'll change in the coming year. Through our advocacy in Washington on behalf of AFA and all of its members, and due in large part work, we have expanded support for the Senate and House resolutions, which recognize the important role fraternal benefit societies play in our communities across this country and in Canada. We have secured 110 bipartisan co-sponsors in the House and 30 bipartisan co-sponsors in the Senate, the most ever in both bodies of Congress. And despite the challenges of the pandemic, our important work must continue to protect you and your vital mission. As we look to next year, the first year of a new Congress, which occurs every 2 years, as well as the first year of a new presidential administration, we will continue our vital federal advocacy with a multi-pronged approach. We will once again pursue the reintroduction of these critical Senate and House resolutions. We will shore up our champions and appeal to previous supporters of these pieces of legislation while actively attracting new support for each. Considering that there will be over 60 new members of Congress next year, we will have abundant opportunities to introduce Congress to fraternal benefit societies once again and to educate them on all that you do. We will also continue to seek innovative ways to connect you with members of Congress and their staffs in spite of this continued virtual environment. This includes a greater emphasis on virtual meetings because it's imperative that your voice continues to be heard among key decision makers on the Hill. Particularly in times like now, when you're not being targeted directly. Building relationships and maintaining this sort of dialogue has proven to pay tremendous benefits down the road. We will also explore new angles to give members of Congress a greater voice to reach you, such as guest columns on a variety of issues. Other angles could involve social media outreach, aligning with your comfort zone if appropriate, or by creating awareness among key federal decision makers about the vast charitable contributions you make on an annual basis, particularly in times such as these. This year, we started a monthly call that has been so cleverly named and titled, What's New with Drew? And we've used that to provide you with insight into the political issues of the day, or so that you can hear from invited guests like key senior staff or members of Congress themselves to offer unique perspectives on everything from elections to tax reform. With these approaches and many others we have planned, we want you to feel connected to the valuable work our friends and supporters on the Hill are doing on your behalf. It's also important to create a two-way street so that our friends in Congress have a stake in your mission by providing them with a better understanding of how you are able to make our communities better for all of us. There are other issues that will require constant attention as well, such as the evolution of the ongoing Paycheck Protection Program, which many of you are aware of, but it's a new federal entity created as a result of the pandemic. Up to this point, 501c8s have not been given a clear role, if any, in this program, though the details through the implementation have remained quite vague. But you need more clarity as this program grows and continues to be relied upon by countless small businesses across this country. So we will continue to monitor any new interpretations, changes, or improvements to this program and continue to alert you to any impacts they might have on 501c8s and the broader fraternal community. Perhaps as important as all the work we're doing at the federal level is the very real dynamic that state budget shortfalls are becoming more apparent. So we must be prepared for any emerging threats at the state level. Therefore, we will actively monitor AFA's efforts at the state level and the Step Up Task Force and coordinate, where possible, our efforts in Washington to add another layer of insulating support for fraternals. With all of this, there will certainly be a lot of work and efforts going on in Washington, but in this work lies so much possibility and promise. We're tremendously optimistic and excited about the work that lies ahead to continue to position fraternal benefit societies for an even stronger future. I'll close by saying how proud I am to personally represent the American Fraternal Alliance. The past year has been both an honor and a tremendous privilege. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all. Here's to a successful, prosperous, and safe 2021.
Hi, thank you so much, Drew. So everyone knows, sorry about that. We were having a few connection issues, but hopefully hopefully everybody was able to catch everything that Drew had to share. And I can really tell that you're passionate about the work that you do for the Alliance, Drew. It's critically important to communicate the value of this group of insurance companies. So kudos to you and your team. Without the financial support, by the way, of many of our meeting sponsors, this type of critical advocacy work And these types of events would not happen. So we're delighted to share some information from one of our key sponsors, Equisoft.
Life insurance carriers, distributors, and advisors are under pressure to improve operations and enhance the customer experience. New challenges require new digital technologies that drive fundamental business model changes. Anyone navigating this shift must rethink the technology driving their back office, front office, and customer experience. Equisoft's modern end-to-end life insurance solutions enable the rapid digital transformation required to address such problems without the risk. Specifically designed for the needs of carriers, distributors, and advisors across the value chain, our diverse solutions are transforming the back office with Equisoft Manage, a low-risk production-ready cloud platform built on an industry-leading insurance policy admin system, and Equisoft Centralize, a turbocharged agency management system that streamlines distributor operations. While our front office solutions accelerate sales and improve customer servicing with Equisoft Illustrate, a persuasive illustration and quoting platform. Equisoft Apply, providing streamlined yet flexible digital electronic application, and tools uniquely suited to advisor efficiency like Equisoft Connect, our insurance advisor-specific CRM, Equisoft Plan for an in-depth wealth planning platform, and Equisoft Analyze for Advisors, our comprehensive asset allocation and wealth analysis tool, all flawlessly implemented and supported by our globally proven services group. Successful implementations and data migration capabilities, backed by dedicated onshore teams of experts and a multinational roster of clients. The tipping point has been reached. The time to embrace and begin your digital transformation journey is now. Start your modernization with us today.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Equisoft. And now, are you ready to have some fraternal fun? You will love this next segment. Buckle up. It has everything: questions, answers, intrigue. Who knew fraternal people were so competitive? Enjoy.
Welcome to the hottest game in town, Fraternal Jeopardy. I'm your host today, Barbara Cheney, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Catholic Life Insurance. Yay! Today's contestants are Tim Sakosha with the Knights of Columbus. Yay! Kate Chalinsky with United Commercial Travelers. Yay! And Zach Snell with Thrivent Financial. Yay! Let's have our contestants introduce themselves. Tim, why don't you start us off and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure, Barbara. Thanks. I'm Tim Sakosha. I'm the Senior Policy Director for the Knights of Columbus. And so in my role, I manage all of our public policy and government affairs work and run our Washington office. So working in DC at the Capitol, advocating for fraternals, but also in state capitals as well, working on varying issues. And I also work a bit on our international portfolio as well, where we're doing work abroad in the Middle East and in Africa, raising awareness of the atrocities against Christians and other minorities in those areas. So it's great to be here.
Welcome. Kate, what do you do at your society?
Well, thanks, Barbara, and hello, everyone. I'm Kate Chalinsky, Vice President of Membership and Communications at United Commercial Travelers, UCT, in Columbus, Ohio. I oversee our fraternal department, as well as work with our board members to develop strategies around communications and growing our membership.
Zach, tell us about what you do for Thrivent.
Hey, Barbara, thank you very much. So I lead initiatives that leverage all of our member benefits portfolio and our unique business model in a way that introduces us to new communities and drives prospects to Thrivent for the very first time. So really exciting stuff from a marketing perspective.
That sounds great. Now it's time to play Fraternal Jeopardy. Here are the rules, because it's a little bit different than regular Jeopardy. Each contestant gets to pick their category and their amount, and then I ask them a question. The contestant has a chance to answer, but if they get it wrong, the other two can hit their buzzers to complete for the chance to answer the question correctly. The person with the most money at the end of our session will win. And have we got a great prize for you? Yay! I'm going to flip a coin to determine who gets to choose the first category. And it looks like our first contestant is Tim.
I never win drawings.
Tim, you get to choose your category and your amount.
Well, Barbara, I think I'll start off with virtual conventions for 100, maybe.
Okay, here's the question, and please use a sentence when answering. Name the society that held a virtual convention this year.
Barbara, it was the Knights of Columbus that held not only one virtual convention this year, but over 70 virtual conventions.
70 virtual conventions. Holy guacamole, that's a lot of meetings.
You bet. So we have our state conventions every spring. And so in keeping with public health guidance, our state councils, which are the 50 US states, DC, the Canadian provinces throughout, and then councils throughout Mexico, the Philippines, and Europe, actually held their conventions virtually. And then in August, we had our national convention virtually as well. And to do that, we actually had our state delegations gather in smaller groups and then call in so that they could participate that way, but still somewhat be together, but still socially distanced. And then our leadership managed the whole convention actually from our headquarters in New Haven, where we also had two masses at St. Mary's Church in New Haven, where the Knights of Columbus was started in 1882 by the now blessed Michael McGivney, who was a parish priest there who at the end of October was beatified by the church. So we're very excited about that. And he's buried at St. Mary's. So we had that extra connection to him and to our founding for this year's convention. Even though we were socially distant, we were still fraternally close.
Wow, that sounds like quite a lot of work, Tim. Good for you guys. I understand that there were other fraternals that had virtual conventions too. So we could have had many answers from what I understand. I understand the Polish Falcons, the Catholic Order of Foresters, and even Catholic Life Insurance. Okay, Kate, now it's your time to choose a category.
Well, Barbara, let's go with pivoting during pandemics for $100.
Okay, Kate, describe good virtual volunteerism.
Good virtual volunteerism. Well, that can take on many forms these days. I know members at UCT have gotten very creative with this, whether it's making a simple donation online to their favorite organization or gathering in small groups, masks on, of course, socially distanced, but they are making masks for members of their community, healthcare workers, police officers, teachers, anyone who needs them. We've also had members continue to volunteer at their local food pantry. So they're finding ways to give back. It may be on a smaller scale, but they're still being involved. And I think as fraternals and as fraternal leaders, we need to continue stressing that to our members to stay active, even if it's in a small capacity, so that our communities know that we are still here to serve them.
Kate, you're on target. I know that at Catholic Life, our branches are doing some of the same things, a lot of support to their local food pantries and food banks, as well as programs like Meals on Wheels, as well as programs like Catholic Charities. And I can't count the number of masks that have been made by some of our members. It seems to really bring out those people. Those sewing machines have come out. Okay, Zach, we're going to come to you now. Here's a hard question. You get to pick, but I have an idea that we can stump you.
Well, we'll just have to see about that, Barbara. I choose acronyms you should know for 200, please.
Okay, what is HCON?
HCon, more like DEF CON. Are you kidding? Okay, seriously. HCon stands for haven't conventions outlived their novelty?
Ooh, nice answer, but not the correct answer. Does anyone else have a guess? Tim, what does HCon stand for?
Barbara, it stands for House Concurrent Resolution. And I know it's not as fun as DEF CON, but it's important to fraternals because we have actually 2 resolutions right now in Congress, one in the House and one in the Senate. House Concurrent Resolution 27 has over 100 co-sponsors right now, and this is 100 members of the U.S. House of Representatives who have stepped up and said that they think what fraternals do is important and endorsing the long history and good work of fraternals. And then on the Senate side, we have S-Con-Res 9. And that has almost a third of the U.S. Senate as co-sponsors right now, which is a tremendous achievement for fraternals across the board. We've worked very closely with everyone, with folks from Thrivent, Modern Woodman, Woodman Life, across the board, the Polish Falcons, our board chair, Tim Kuzma, and Cynthia Molesky, our board vice chair, who leads up our advocacy efforts as well. So working with them, working with the Alliance's council, Capitol Council, we're all kind of pitching in together. So I think we'll be talking more about that as time goes on, but we're really excited to have that work and excited to work with everyone. It's I think an opportunity for fraternals to be fraternal together in getting this done. So it's been fun.
Oh,
and the rest and an acronym Zach will never forget.
Tim, you're on a roll. How about you choose another category from the board?
Well, maybe I'll go. Maybe we're doing well with acronyms. Maybe we'll do acronyms for 300.
Okay, great choice. What is PBR?
See, this is what I get for making fun of Zach. I guess it's probably not peanut butter and radish sandwiches. Is it Pabst Blue Ribbon? No, probably. I'm thinking of that reception, maybe.
You're gonna have to wait for your Pabst Blue Ribbon. Anyone else want to buzz in? PBR? Zach.
Yes. Hello, Tim. PBR stands for Principles-Based Reserve. Everybody knows that.
I guess not everybody.
Not everybody. Yep, not everybody. And pardon my flag. It's shining in front of my window, waving back and forth today. We're having a windy day here in San Antonio. Kate, it looks like it's your turn to try a category.
All right, let's change it up a little bit and go with technology for $100.
Technology for $100. What is co-tribute?
Well, I'm a big Hunger Games fan, and I bet that's when you send 2 delegates to a virtual convention, right?
Anyone else? Zach?
Hey, Cotribute is actually a digital platform provider that actually makes it really, really easy to create virtual communities in an effort to really drive social engagement and crowdfunding activities amongst our membership and their family and friends. So at Thrivent, we've actually worked with Cotribute to provide every one of our members that leads one of our Thrivent action teams a unique digital project page that they can use to drum up volunteers, keep those volunteers engaged and informed on activities and logistics that day, and then easily share pictures and stories with each other, both during the event and afterward. So really cool stuff.
That sounds really cool. You know, Zach, you're on a roll. Why don't you choose from the categories?
Well, don't mind if I do, Barbara. Let's do pivoting during pandemics for 300, please.
Okay. Name an example of leadership during a crisis.
That's a really good one. I think for us at Thrivent, our leaders have been really great at pivoting during this crisis, and they've really focused on our people during this crazy year. So they've introduced programs that provide more time off for those of us that have to deal with daycare or schooling options, providing funding to all employees to be able to purchase things like desks or other items that we need to be able to work from home in this crazy world, and even introduce some financial support packages specifically for all of our financial advisors out there to ensure that they can successfully weather the COVID storm and any related business interruptions that come from it. So I think that's a pretty cool way to show some leadership during this time.
Wow. Kate, do you have anything you'd like to add to that answer?
No.
Sorry, I caught you off guard. Tim, how about you? What are some of the examples of leadership at the Knights of Columbus during this crisis?
Well, I think in a lot of ways of like what Zach was saying, you know, we've made sure we stay closer together. You know, we of course have our field agents in our home office, and then I'm, you know, based in Washington, and we have other operations as well, but making sure everybody's staying together. We've instituted daily newsletters, keeping everybody up to date with public health concerns and what's happening in the community, things that they can still do, but also making sure that everyone stays working together. We've, you know, as I'm sure many others have, introduced a lot of video conferencing platforms into our daily work, and our members in the field are really stepping up using video platforms to stay together and then coordinate a lot of the projects that we've been talking about all day. So I think being able to do that and be flexible has been really a sign of great leadership.
I have to agree. Oh, Kate.
I'd like to retract my prior comment. I do have examples of good leadership during a crisis. So we put together a phenomenal strategic plan for 2020, and sure enough, as we were getting the ball rolling, the pandemic happened. So we really had to shift and pivot, and our board members, through our insurance board and our fraternal board, really provided a lot of support to senior management to execute on the goals and ideas that we had in place. While we haven't been able to do everything, we've made tremendous progress on 75% of our strategic plan, and we still have the rest of the month to go. So we are very optimistic with that. It was a big growth year for UCT, and I'm just very proud of the way our board members, senior management, our employees, and our members and agents just banded together to, you know, really make it feel like a family and push through a hard time.
That sounds great. You know, they say when you plan, God laughs, and when man plans, God laughs. And I think a lot of laughing this year, as all of us had a lot of big plans, and like all of you, we Catholic Life Insurance have stayed close. Zoom meetings, conference calls, bingo. We've had employee bingo a couple of times, which has been a heck of a lot of fun. And so trying to keep everybody energized and motivated, and at the same time understanding that we've got some serious health issues out there. So yeah, I feel proud to be part of the fraternal system. So Tim, how about we go back to you and see where you'd like to go on the board?
Well, acronyms didn't work out so well for me, so maybe we'll go back to that virtual convention category for 300.
Wow. Okay. Pre-recorded events or live events? What was your meeting?
We did a bit of a hybrid. So we had some pre-recorded events, our annual awards ceremony. That allowed us to actually integrate some really nice longer form videos about what our award winners were doing. And our award winners were international this year. We had winners from our councils in Europe, and here in North America as well. So it was great to be able to integrate that. But our business session was live. As I mentioned before, you know, our leadership ran things from New Haven. Our members were gathered in their states and their local communities, you know, and being able to do that. And then both our masses were live. And we're always very grateful for our partnership with, here in the US, with the Eternal Word Television Network, EWTN. People refer to it as the Catholic channel, right? They broadcast a lot of our masses and our events for the convention usually, and so that was a good way to keep all our members connected, not just our delegates this year. And up in Canada, the folks at Salt and Light do the same thing. So really happy to have those partnerships.
You know, here at Catholic Life, we did a pre-recorded convention, And because we have a lot of our branch officers live in rural areas where they may still be on dial-up. And while those of us in the urban areas think of dial-up and go, it's a way of life in parts of rural America. So we pre-recorded our event, and we also offered an audio option for people just to listen. And I have to tell you, we had great participation, absolutely amazing participation, and we had 11 bylaw changes, and they all passed. 11 bylaw changes, and they all passed with 98% in favor of the changes, and they were big changes. So you can make things happen virtually, and our people were just so interested in being a part of it. And we sent out packets ahead of time. We had paper ballots, and it was really very successful. Now we are planning for our next convention already, as convention planners do. And Kate, I'm sure you're in the same boat. We're already planning ahead, and you too, Tim. And that we hope that we'll be able to do it again in person. But if we can't, we know we can do it virtually. Okay, anyone else want to jump in about their convention? Oh, wait a minute, Zach, you don't have a convention, do you?
No, we do not.
Hey, anything you want to add about conventions?
I think I'll have an answer for that coming up here pretty soon.
Okay, well, while I've got you, why don't you go ahead and take the lead, and maybe you will find our daily double.
Those acronyms have been pretty fun. So let's go with acronyms you should know for $100.
What is RBC?
Oh, come on, Barbara. That's so easy. Risk-based capital.
Got to throw some easy ones out there. Yay, Kate. Okay, Zach, you look like you're having fun there. So, Thrivent, you're the largest fraternal. Did they train you for your appearance today because you're looking mighty dapper?
Very funny, Barb. I didn't have to do any additional training for today, I promise you. So
you didn't have to fix your hair?
No hairdos. I just got the regular standard pat on the back and go get them training package that every other Thrivent employee gets in the first 12 minutes with the organization. So I'm here just being me.
Okay, well, pick a category.
All right, let's do technology for 300, Barb.
Oh, it's the daily double. Okay, Zach, your question today is, what is the future of technology for fraternals?
Technology, oh my gosh. Well, I think I would say the most important technology for fraternals will be any tools we can use that get our society's names out into the communities, into the markets that we're looking to serve and do business in, and really to welcome those new people to experience our organization from anywhere, anytime, and in any way that they choose to. So really thinking differently about how we leverage technology to show up differently than we ever have before.
Zach, that's a great answer, and you earned that daily double. You sure did. So Tim, let's see if you can blast him off the board. It's your turn again. Pick a good one this time.
All right, why don't we go with pivoting during pandemics for 200?
Who came up with pivoting during pandemics? Must have also come up with virtual volunteerism. Is this a tongue twister day? So your question is, name some virtual advocacy strategies.
All right, well, maybe I can redeem myself a little bit here, but it's amazing how much of advocacy already was virtual. We're doing a lot of emails, a lot of old-fashioned letters and phone calls, and so those are still going on, but they're taking on new forms. You might have more phone calls than you did before. A phone call might have been a follow-up, but now it's the actual meeting. So we're trying to adjust, but I think, of course, the biggest loss, is in-person contact, of course, and that was just such a mainstay. Whether that be an in-person meeting, whether one-on-one, or maybe when a group of us would go together during one of the Alliance's days on the Hill, Those were important occasions that we can't have right now. Although I was with some members from Thrivent, some of our members at the Knights, and some of the Modern Woodmen, and we actually had a video conference call with Congressman Kevin Brady, who's the ranking member of the House Ways and Means Committee. We did that a few weeks back, and we were all in our homes, and he actually was in the middle of on his way to another event, so he was actually in the passenger seat of his car while a member of his staff took a turn driving. And I think that's just a funny story because he was able to give us that time, but that might not have been time he might have been able to give before. And so there are some of these opportunities here, and that we're able to take advantage of. But we're not letting anything slow down. We're still out there working hard and making sure that our message is able to get out there. And I would say the last thing is that because we're doing so much great work, we're making a lot of good and positive headlines in our communities. And members of Congress and state legislators and city councilors, they notice that, and that's how we get our name out there as well. And that's really important. And we're doing that in spades right now. So I think we all have a hand in it.
Yeah, what a great answer, Tim. What a great answer. Kate, you're up. It's your turn. Why don't you pick something good off the board?
All right, well, I have to follow that. So let's go with virtual conventions for 200. I'm feeling lucky on this one.
Okay, name a lesson learned.
Oh boy. Well, 2020 is the year of lessons learned. That is for sure. Whether it's work related or at home or the pandemic, whatever, we've learned a lot of lessons. And UCT, I'm sure, is not alone in having to have had transition from a face-to-face convention to a virtual convention. And I'm just going to name a few things key takeaways that we had. Invest in a moderator. This will limit the number of interruptions and distractions that you have during your event. Number 2, think outside the box. Don't be afraid to try new things. Like you said earlier, with your society, people just want to be able to engage and connect. It may not be, through our typical face-to-face social interactions, but they just want to be involved and feel like they still belong. So don't discard that fact. And last but not least, double and triple check your access codes, your login information before you send it out to your participants, so you're not scrambling the night before to make sure that everyone has the right information. Host a mock convention with the people who are going to be involved, or do a dress rehearsal. That way you can eliminate as many mistakes as possible prior to the big day.
Kate, those are great lessons learned. I tell you, probably the biggest lesson that we learned is hire a professional to help you. Get help. Don't wing it, because you're right. And just about anything can go wrong and will go wrong. So those are great lessons. You got another one?
Yeah, we because we hold our convention early in the summer, and we were really kind of dragging our feet to see what was going to happen. We had booked it at a hotel. We didn't know what that was going to be a turnout about. So now we're taking steps to plan ahead so that we have backup plans in case, come next summer, we can't be together face to face. We can have a virtual meeting and make sure it's successful and it's the best that, our UCT members have seen.
That's great advice. That's absolutely wonderful advice. Okay, we are now ready for our final questions, contestants. Okay, so everyone gets a chance to answer. You hit your buzzer if you have the answer for the category is technology for 200. Okay, everyone ready? Name a cool platform. Tim?
9 3/4.
This isn't
Oh, I'm sorry. A technology platform. I'm sorry. Not a magical platform. MySpace.
MySpace.
People use that. I'll have to go find my top friends.
Zach?
Napster.
Napster? Really? Kate, hopefully you've got something good for us.
I've got it. It's called ePay Policy. We use it at UCT, and it is a third-party vendor that allows us to give our members the option of online payments. Now, we have plenty of members who still like to write their checks and send it in by mail, which is totally fine. But this allows us to engage with the younger members who don't want to deal with checks and can just make an online payment either through their phone or through the website.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Good technology. Yay, Kate. And guys, that was our final question. I want to thank you all for participating today. It's been a lot of fun. Yay! Because on all of you, who is the winner? Every single one of you who participated today. You're all winners. And because you were such good sports, because you're such good sports, the Alliance is providing each of us with one free registration to a meeting of our choice in the next 2 years. And I hope to see you all in person at those meetings, because this Zoom stuff is fun, but it can get kind of tiring after a while. But I'm saving myself for the next in-person meeting. I want to thank you all for being part of this and being part of the fraternal system. I want to encourage you to enjoy the rest of the Encore presentations. It's been a lot of fun, guys. Good seeing you. Look forward to seeing you in person sometime soon.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Thanks, Barbara.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was pretty awesome. We learned cool stuff and had a great time. Thank you to our Jeopardy host and contestants. I gotta admit, that was some undertaking to pull that off a game show via Zoom. So really outstanding job. Now, onward, get your Kleenex back out. We are going to take another look at the remarkable work your members and chapter leaders are doing out there in the world. You fraternal benefit societies, you are truly, truly wonderful.
Wow, what a great way to end this part of our Encore event. Before we move platforms to the roundtable discussions in a little bit, I would just like to remind you that the Alliance and your board of directors are here to support all of you. We believe strongly that fraternals must grow and strive for success to remain part of the fabric that holds our communities together. And I want to especially again thank the board of directors and all the support they've shown to this system, to the member societies, to the Alliance, to me. It's a great group, and we're all fortunate to have them. And all the ways, that we've mentioned over the past 2 days here at our Encore event, and ones that we have not yet discovered. We look forward to collaborating, connecting with all of you in 2021. I can say that I can't wait for the opportunity to get back in the same room with all of you. I've missed not being with you this year. It's what makes being a part of the American Fraternal Alliance such a special thing for all of us. And I truly missed it. And I want to, before I leave, to wish all of you a very merry and blessed Christmas season this year. So Valerie, I believe you have some closing comments. I'm going to sign off and get ready for the roundtables. Look forward to seeing you all in different tables and looking forward to some good discussions there. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, Tim. We'll see you later. So Tim and our fraternal executives and the official Encore sponsors are moving now to a new platform in just a moment. They will be participating in roundtable discussions in a very, very modern way. Now, as a reminder, CEOs should go to the VIP mezzanine after you get to the theater. In the main theater floor, you'll see a sign at the bottom of the floor plan that says VIP mezzanine. Click on that and you'll be taken straight to the mezzanine. During the roundtables, there will be 4 rounds of discussions and many great prizes awarded at the end. So here are some tips for navigating in this fantastic platform. First, you need to completely close out of this Zoom meeting in a moment. Make sure your camera's turned off, and most importantly, that you've exited all other platforms on your laptop. Yes, indeed, that does mean close out your email. Disconnect, very critical, disconnect from any work VPN that you use. Also critical is to make sure you're using Chrome or Firefox as your browser. So not IE, nothing else, you need to use Chrome or Firefox. If you have any issues when you get in, you can look for the help desk at the bottom of the screen. Last thing to do, if you have problems, refresh your browser. It's a great way that it, like I said, if you get into any hitches, try refreshing your browser. But otherwise, you can look for the help desk at the bottom of the screen. You're gonna have 30 minutes to get situated before the roundtable discussions start at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So here in about half an hour. Thank you for having me MC your main event. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I'll look forward to seeing many of you shortly on the other platform for Encore roundtables. Enjoy.